Actually, where is it?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
When you see Anthony Daniels put on his C-3PO outfit, I was standing next to you, and he turned back. He turned to me. He said, "It's like an icon here, you know." So there's still that kind of like enjoyment that we all have because I grew up with watching these characters.
But you got out again. Get back in there. We got it. We have something.
I was on set with C-3PO, and it really took me back. I really remembered what it was like to be 6 or 7 and watching these films, and I felt the excitement of being in them, you know, now.
Here's 3PO. Now it is Star Wars. Star Wars has arrived.
That's why I wanted to see.
How do you do? My name's George. I'll be your director today.
The weird thing about 3PO, of course, is for the most part, he's completely out of his element. In all the other movies, he's gone around saying,
Protocol? Why, it's my primary function, sir.
It's what I do. I translate. And he's had this terrible time because he's been put in fights and fires and mangled up and met all sorts of weird creatures. And the great thing about Episode 3 is he is in his milieu. For the first time, he is golden.
This is the first film you've ever been shiny in.
Well, apart from the end scene.
The very end of 4. But this is your moment to shine. Except you reflect also the crew and the camera and everything else on the Mars.
Folks, we need to clear the set, please. We've got a lot of reflection problems on C-3PO.
This is the one where we bite the bullet. We go for shiny and we do it. And we'll let John fix it.
This area here with all the darkness against the gold is actually a cameraman, and this is his camera. You can see it muddies up the clean, reflective look of C-3PO. This shot took about 2.5 to 3 days. Constant frame-by-frame painting, sampling from different areas. Eventually it's a combination of recreating each frame, sampling from a frame that's completed, until at the end you have the completed shot. It's kind of ironic. He was one of my favorites when I was young, so it's just very ironic that now in my 30s I'm painting on him.
Thank the maker. This oil bath is going to feel so good.
3PO has been the sort of, I think, fall guy or the funny guy throughout all these movies, and humor's been a big content of the saga. And in this one, really, there isn't that much, because this is a pretty dark episode. And going through lines with Ewan, and to feel the depth in him of the pain that is happening, it's really quite a thrill after all these years, sort of wandering about going, oh, hello, it's actually been quite refreshing. I would just love to wear something that I could sit down and be comfortable in. And also to gesture in, to have free expression, to use my face, to use my hands, to use, you know, this kind of thing. But I don't, so I've had to make the most of it.
I need more emoting, I need more facial expression. I'm not getting that sadness that I need. I think I'm getting a smile, I want to frown, okay?
Maybe part of the reason he works as a rather tragic figure is my aloneness in there. And again, if R2 is your best friend and doesn't speak to you whenever you're filming, that gets pretty sad too.
I heard the most disturbing rumor.
Okay, and cut. Okay, great.
When we're filming, I have a little radio microphone sort of here, and it sounds very poor. So I've always done a wild track recording straight after filming.
It isn't a quiet except.
I like the humorous bit. I mean,
the acquired taste.
The movie tonally will be so dark. That,
so any room for Oh, I made it myself.
That's good, actually. That's funny.
Oh, I made it specially. But I'm.
Whoa!
Since I can only see straight forward, God forbid anybody lies down in front of me, because we'll both be dead.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
There was a tragic scene the other day. Tragic. There is Obi-Wan Kenobi. 3PO is quietly trotting off in the distance. Now it's their close-up, and they're talking very seriously. And suddenly, I had fallen over the end of a little step in Padmé's sitting room there, and was now doing the most amazing press-up on the window not to dive over the entire ledge. So they are looking at 3PO's golden butt.
How did we get into this mess? I really don't know how.
Say it.
And action.
What is fairly wacky for me is sitting here on this set, where for me, and indeed the public it all began. Everything is circular in life, they say, and this is where we end.
This is it. The end of the movie. Well, not the exact end, but the end for you.
George and I were the only people to have witnessed this set, and it's kind of fun because I never thought this was going to happen. I never expected, a 12-week job would turn into all these years.
People will
We
leave.
won't see you for another 20 years.
Because what's great about being here is I finally understand the story. I see it coming together. I get the ends. The whole beginning that we knew so well 20-something years ago. It suddenly makes sense. This one has the depth, the guts, that take us into the original story that we all remember loving so much. And I am fascinated personally to see how this comes about, how this arc turns.
Quite frankly, sir, I don't know what he's talking about. Our last master was Captain Antilles, but with all we've been through this...
Sometimes playing C-3PO isn't a bundle of laughs. It's there's all sorts of parameters that make it awkward, intellectually, emotionally, physically. I think the one thing that really has kept me going is a tremendous affection for the character. For a character who's just benign, delightful, weird,
Typical.
sad, lonely. I think we'd all be glad to know him.
Come on, R2, we're going.